What if the key to getting rich wasn't about timing the market, saving every penny, or having the perfect budget? What if it was about consistency? That's what Nick Maggiulli reveals in Just Keep Buying. This book takes a data-driven, practical look at money, what actually works for building wealth and what's just noise. Whether you're struggling to save or afraid to invest, this video will walk you through the core lessons that can transform your money mindset and get your wealth on autopilot. Let's break down the best ideas, and more importantly, show you exactly how to apply them. Most personal and finance advice starts with a rule. Save 10% of your income. 20% is ideal. 30% if you want to retire early. But Nick Maggiulli challenges all of that in Chapter 1 of Just Keep Buying. Why? Because those rules ignore the most important financial factor of all, your current reality. Let's say you're just starting out, earning $2,000 a month. Rent takes half. Groceries, gas, maybe a student loan. You're left with $200 if you're lucky. And now someone tells you to save 20%? That's not motivation. That's pressure. And pressure leads to guilt. And guilt leads to quitting. Maggiulli argues that this mindset is broken because it forces you to follow someone else's formula instead of working with what you have. So here's his simple idea. Save what you can now and focus on saving more later when you earn more. So here's how you execute on this idea. First, set up a small automatic transfer, say $10 or $25 from checking to savings every time you get paid. Second, create a simple reminder every quarter to review your income. Ask, can I bump my savings rate by even 1%? Third, shift your mindset. Saving money isn't punishment, it's future freedom. And if that number is tiny right now, that's okay. It won't stay that way forever. Because the goal isn't to be perfect. It's to keep showing up, even if all you can do is save a little. Because those small decisions, repeated over time, lead to real wealth. One of the most dangerous traps in personal finance is lifestyle inflation. It starts out small. You get a raise, so you upgrade your apartment. Then you add streaming services, nicer restaurants, new gadgets. Because you can afford it now. But months later, your bank account looks just as tight as before. Nick Maggiulli calls this the income trap. The illusion that higher income automatically equals higher savings. But the truth is, without a plan, higher income just leads to higher expenses. In Chapter 2, he offers a powerful alternative. Instead of increasing spending every time your paycheck grows, increase your saving rate first. That means every time you get a raise, promotion, or windfall, you put a portion of it directly into savings or investment before it ever touches your checking account. This is called paying yourself first on autopilot. You don't have to deny yourself everything. Just resist the urge to match every income gain with a lifestyle upgrade. Because if your expenses grow slower than your income, the gap becomes your wealth. Let's talk about time, the most underrated asset in personal finance. Maggiulli's data shows that when it comes to building wealth, starting early matters way more than how much you save later. That's why he says, stop waiting for the right time to invest. There is no perfect time. The perfect time was yesterday. The second best time, today. Here's how to execute this idea. Open an investment account like a Roth IRA or brokerage immediately if you haven't already. Start with what you can, even $50 or $100 a month. Use low-cost index funds like VTI or SPY that track the entire market. Automate it so it happens without decision fatigue or hesitation. The longer your money stays invested, the harder it works for you, and you can't buy back time. So stop stressing over the amount. Start with what you have. Because when it comes to investing, the clock is the biggest multiplier. You've probably heard people say, "I'm just waiting for the right time to invest." But according to Nick Maggiulli, that's one of the biggest wealth-killing mistakes you can make. In Chapter 4, he dives into years of data and market history and proves one thing. Trying to time the market doesn't work. Why? Because if you miss just a handful of the market's best days, your long-term returns drop drastically. And those best days often come right after big crashes, when most people are too scared to invest. How to protect yourself from this trap? Automate your investing on a fixed schedule, every Monday or the 15th of each month. Don't pause your investments during downturns. Buy more if you can. Avoid checking your portfolio too often. It leads to emotional decisions. Stick to long-term goals and ignore short-term noise. The people who win don't get lucky. They just stay invested. They let the market do the work while they focus on living. This is the heart of the book, and the simplest wealth strategy you'll ever hear. Nick Maggiulli's rule: just keep buying. Buy when prices are high. Buy when prices are low. Buy when the market crashes. Buy when it booms. Just keep buying. Why? Because consistent investing smooths out the highs and lows. It's called dollar cost averaging, and it helps you avoid emotional mistakes. When the market crashes, you buy more shares for the same price. When it rises, your previous buys pay off. This strategy takes emotion out of the equation. You're no longer reacting, you're executing. And over time, those steady buys compound into serious wealth. No guessing, no stress. Just keep buying. In today's world, buying a house is still seen as the ultimate symbol of financial success. But Nick Maggiulli wants you to pause and look at the numbers before you chase the dream. In Chapter 6, he breaks down one of the most emotional financial decisions most people ever make: buying a home. And he proves that buying isn't always better. Yes, homes can grow in value. Yes, they can offer stability, but they also come with huge hidden costs: maintenance, taxes, insurance, interest, opportunity cost, and most importantly, flexibility loss. When you rent, you can move easily, adapt faster, and invest more freely. When you own, you're locked in, and the true cost of ownership often outweighs the benefits. So, when should you buy? Maggiulli's rule: only buy a home if you plan to stay in it for at least 7 to 10 years. That's the time frame where the costs of buying usually break even with renting. He also encourages you to look at the total monthly cost, not just the mortgage. Include everything: HOA, repairs, taxes, and ask, is this better than renting and investing the difference? Owning a home isn't bad, but it's not always the smart move, especially if it delays your investing journey. Remember, owning a home is not the same as building wealth, unless the numbers make sense. Here's a twist you didn't see coming. Sometimes, the smartest financial decision is spending more money. That's right. In Chapter 7, Maggiulli tackles a dangerous mindset in personal finance. The idea that saving money is always good and spending money is always bad. But what if your money could buy back your time? What if it could relieve stress, improve your health, create memories that actually matter? Suddenly, spending becomes an investment in quality of life. The goal of money isn't to die with a big bank account. It's to live a life that feels rich now, not someday. Maggiulli's philosophy? Spend intentionally, not impulsively. Use money as a tool to reduce stress, create freedom, and increase joy. Because wealth is worthless if you're miserable. Want to know the real secret behind long-term financial success? It's not hustle. It's not intelligence. It's systemization. Maggiulli's final message is this: if you want lasting results, you need to build a system, and then get out of the way. Think about it like brushing your teeth. You don't need motivation or a daily plan, you just do it automatically. That's what your finances should feel like. Here's the ideal system. Every paycheck, a fixed amount is automatically sent to savings. A separate portion is automatically invested into index funds. Bills are set to autopay and credit cards are paid in full. You check your finances once a month or once a quarter. You're not constantly thinking about money, budgeting every expense, or fighting to stay on track. Your system handles it for you. Because money should work for you, not the other way around. The real magic? Once your system is in place, every day becomes a step toward wealth, even when you're doing nothing. You've just learned the simple truths of wealth building from Just Keep Buying by Nick Maggiulli. Let's recap. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to save 50% of your income. You don't need to predict the next market crash. You just need to save what you can. Invest consistently. Let time and automation do the heavy lifting. This book isn't about hype. It's about habits. It doesn't matter where you're starting from. It matters that you're starting now. Because real wealth isn't built with brilliance. It's built with patience and a repeatable system. If this video helped shift your mindset or simplify your strategy, let me know in the comments. What's one money habit you're going to automate this week? Don't forget like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who's overthinking money. Thanks for watching, and remember, don't wait for the perfect time. Just keep buying.